I was in a breakout class with Scott Thompson. It was called Demonstrations of Power, and he's basically teaching us about healing and stepping out in boldness and words knowledge and all that kind of stuff. So kind of towards the end of it, he said, if anyone has a word of knowledge for healing, come up to the front and I'll give you the mic, say it out. If it applies to you in the crowd, stand up. So I'm listening to all these words of knowledge. I'm like, man, this is so cool. And as this is happening, my knuckle next to my pinky just starts so much pain. I'm like, oh, that's really weird. Like, I never had that before, and I kind of forgot about it, and I just kept listening to all these words of knowledge, and it kept coming up, and I was like, what is this, And I was like, oh, it's a word of knowledge, and I was like, I totally didn't realize, it finally clicked. So I get up there, and Scott Thompson, he gives me the mic, and I say, I have this pain in my knuckle, and I don't know if it's arthritis or something like that. It's in this hand, and I don't know. But if it applies to you, just stand up. And no one really stood up, and I was like, oh shoot, it wasn't God, but and so they released us to go pray for the people who stood up, and I'm like, well, I don't know who to pray for. So I walk up to this guy named Joe, and I asked what he needs to pray for. He says he has a kidney problem, but he believes he's healed. His church prayed for him, and it was all good. He said he never felt better. And I was just like, well, do you need me to pray for anything else? And he goes, yeah, my hand, I have no knuckle there. And it was the knuckle that I had pain in. And it was a construction accident. He lost his knuckle. He had almost zero mobility in his hand and a lot of pain all the time. I was like, why didn't you stand up, He's like, well, I was already standing for my kidney. I was just like taking the healing. I was like, oh my gosh, God did speak to me after all. I was like so excited, and I was just fired up, and I was like, all right, we're gonna do this. I was really pumped, and so I put my hand on top of his, kind of like that, and I just started praying. And I was just releasing healing over his body and stuff like that. And I released my hand and asked him to test it out, and he says, wow, you know what? I have all my mobility back and all my pain's gone, and it's incredible. And I was immediately just shocked. And I was like, this is amazing, And he's never been able to move his hand since the accident. He had all this pain, it's all gone. Look at his hand, and his knuckle is gone. And I was just so hungry and so full of faith. I was like, you know what, this isn't done yet. So it's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you're getting your knuckle back. So I grabbed his hand and put my hand back over it. I start praying again. It heats up, and it was crazy, just speaking in tongues, and I just felt so filled right at that moment. And I took my hand off, and I looked down, and sure enough, his knuckle grew back, and it was one of the most amazing things that ever happened. It was this amazing creative miracle. Ever since then, I've just been full of faith and just going after it. Is pretty amazing. What I love about Jesus Culture is just encourages you so much to go out as a revivalist in your local community, and equips you so well and gives you so many strategies, and just to go out and just do works of God. And it just helps you when you come out of Jesus Culture. You're just so amped up, and you're just like, come on, I just need someone to pray for. Like, you're just looking for someone, and it's just, you just get so excited.